We grew up on a small farm outside of western North Dakota town by the name of Gulva. There were 10 kids, and my parents were farmers. What I could offer back about my parents is that they taught us how to work and always to be very honest and forthcoming in our conversations with people. I really attribute my upbringing and fortune a great deal to them. Now, by the way, when I was a senior in high school, they were building a retirement community manor in our town. During that summer of 1964 it was, I worked as a construction worker in building that manor. And then to think that someday I'd end up with this in this environment is just amazing. The original purpose of starting TOUCHMARK was to offer a multiple level of services to residents. It started in my experience with traveling around to these 700 plus nursing center clients that we had around the United States. You'd go into these buildings, and what was so sad is to see one person living in the nursing center and the spouse was maybe living across town. And I thought, what a sad way to spend the last few years of your life. Why can't we have an environment where the couple can live together to the end of their life and through the last years? And so that then was the impetus for starting TOUCHMARK. It felt like a much better way to present an opportunity for couples to live more with a higher quality of life.
So each one of our communities at TOUCHMARK is slightly different. They look different. They're clearly in different places in different communities. But one thing that is very, very similar, when you walk through that front door and you see that smiling face behind the reception desk, you know you're at a TOUCHMARK community. The feeling that you have, that warm and comfortable, home-like setting that just buzzes with energy, you know you're in a TOUCHMARK community.
The first TOUCHMARK, or at that time named Waterford, was in Spokane. We opened that building on December 5th, 1991. After Spokane, we were searching for land in Sioux Falls. But then the Episcopal Church called me and said, I hear you're trying to build this property in Sioux Falls. We have a school that has been abandoned, and we want to convert it to a retirement community. Would you be interested in taking that project on? Bernie and I visited the site and decided, gosh, we just have to renovate this project. We got to preserve these buildings. Now that was 1996. Now meanwhile, my brother Steve, who had moved to Helena, trying to get a project built there, and so we opened Helena then in 1997. And 1998 was a real banner year in that we opened TOUCHMARK at Fairway Village and the TOUCHMARK in Fargo. 2000, we opened TOUCHMARK on West Century. After Bismarck, we then went to Appleton, Wisconsin. We opened that in 2001. And then we went to Bend, Oregon, and we opened Bend in 2002. And the one following that was Meadow Lake Village outside of Boise. And now I believe that Meadow Lake Village may have the largest number of homes on it, approaching 500 homes.
What makes us unique in terms of the design and how we approach buildings and go about developing projects is probably first and foremost that we do have in-house architecture and construction capabilities here. And then you team that with just the different collaboration and synergy between all the different departments, whether it's financing, sales and operations, marketing, life enrichment, health and fitness, sort of everyone's always at the table, all the stakeholders are there, and so you're hearing everybody's needs, what everybody wants, and I think we just constantly keep pushing each other to really bring forward these great designs.
So to continue after Meadow Lake Village, we then developed a project in Edmonton, Canada, and in Edmond, Oklahoma. Both of them were opened in 2005. So then we didn't build after that for numerous years because that was 2005, 2006. And then the recession hit in 2008. So we ended up opening up TOUCHMARK at the ranch in Prescott in 2017. And then in 2018, we were finally able to open a project up here in Portland. After many years of trying to build a project in Portland, we were able to secure a number of parcels of land encompassing 80 acres on the west side of Portland. And so we were able to open TOUCHMARK in the West Hills in West Portland. Now, that project, when you really think about it, I bought the first parcel in 2002. So it was 2002 through a recession, and it wasn't until 2018 that we actually moved people in. So the most recent community is in McKinney, Texas. Should start construction either later this year or next year.
I'm really excited about TOUCHMARK at Emerald Lake. It's going to be the first of its kind in North Texas, and it's an area of the country that really could use a great TOUCHMARK community.
People often ask me what is the key to TOUCHMARK's growth and success, and I can only say one word, and that is teamwork. It's a very wholesome, fun environment, and I'm very proud of that.
Well, I think because of our values and the gold standard, there are some things that won't change when you come into a TOUCHMARK. You're going to get a warm welcome. You are going to see a smiling face. It's going to feel good. But every single location has their own unique flavor.
TOUCHMARK's mission to enrich people's lives drives every decision, every commitment that we undertake every day. When I think about a 40-year history committed to that mission, boy, so many successful stories to fall back on or to consider.
The most unique thing about TOUCHMARK is our values. Our values are celebrated by every employee on every shift, at every community, every day.
These values have endured 40 years of time.
It really resonates. I see those value statements really resonate with so many people.
The difference between TOUCHMARK and other companies is probably that we live out our values and truly believe in them. It's not just a piece of art on the wall. It's something that comes into our daily work every single day, and that's exciting.
We all live and breathe those values. It really is a family. It's a TOUCHMARK family.
I really had to keep my eyes set toward the future and find new and better ways to deliver services. As you know, today there's a tremendous amount of technology that is available, and that's continuing to grow. To what extent we can just keep pushing the envelope on new things and innovation, that's who we want to be.
As we sit here and reflect back on the first 40 years of the company, the next logical question is, well, what about the next 40 years? Or even what about the next 10 years? Obviously, it's something that people like me think about all the time. In my role leading the company now, and as the transition occurred between our founder, Warner, and me, the thing we talked about the most was, how does the culture live on? How does the culture continue to grow? Anybody can build buildings. Anybody can put up signs and get people to move in. Anybody can provide care. It's none of those things that we do are particularly unique. It's how we do them and how we do them together in service with each other and in service to our residents and families, right? So when I think about the future and where we want to go as a company, first and foremost, our growth and our goals can never outpace our culture. If we find ourselves in a position where we're making business decisions for reasons outside of our core values, we've missed the boat. My biggest job is to be a steward of what's been created here for the last 40 years, and then within the confines of making sure we are doing an excellent job as an employer and an excellent job as a partner in caring for people's loved ones, then we can grow as fast as we can as long as we never outpace that.
People often ask me what makes me feel so proud of TOUCHMARK, and I think without a doubt it's the 2,600 team members who we employ.
I think TOUCHMARK's greatest achievement is all of the residents that we have served over the 40 years. I think about all the fun they're having, and many of these people wouldn't have those experiences had they not moved into TOUCHMARK, and the friendships that they've created.
Every single person here has a key role. Everyone's focused on something that's meaningful in supporting the communities. That's just a really invigorating environment.
We seek to hire people who are that type of giving person. And when you hire enough of those folks, then that becomes the culture.
After having careers outside of TOUCHMARK, I was aspiring to be part of something bigger than myself and to grow not only myself, but to contribute to the growth and the success of others. And I found it at TOUCHMARK.
It's really through teamwork that's caused us to grow and continue to grow. And as I think about all of the residents who we have, and we see videos of the fun that they have in these communities, it's how I want to live. And I think it's how many people want to live.
So as we celebrate 40 years here at TOUCHMARK, I think it is absolutely necessary and appropriate to thank our team members. Our team members that come to work every single day doing really incredibly hard work. The hard work that makes a difference in people's lives. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for everything you do every day. Thank you for your commitment to excellence. Thank you for your commitment to each other as teammates. We have quite a track record in history here at TOUCHMARK over our past 40 years, but it's going to take those values and that commitment to take us into the next 40 years. And I'm so happy to serve with so many gifted individuals in our communities today.